Want another bite, sweetie? Oh, yummy egg salad, eh? It's delicious. Oh, it's so beautiful out. It's like, God, it's got to be close to at least 15 degrees. It's mid-April, which is super exciting because we did not expect to head to the boat this early and make a trip before our little boy was born. So it's super exciting. We're gonna get to measure and plan out a bunch of our projects that we wanted to do. Maybe clean out some through hulls, make sure they're all working, and just really get a good head start on all the work that we have to do this July when once he's born. So we're just having a little lunch, a little pit stop, and we're a couple of hours away. Made it to Foundry Cove Marina. We've got a beer to celebrate, some beautiful weather. I think it's actually closer to like mid-20s. I cannot complain. Let's go check, see how the boat held up. Haha! The tarps are still on! That's awesome! Let's try to get this new floor in.
It's a little too shiny, I think, sweetie.
It does look a little shinier than the other one, eh?
Oh gosh.
Well, there's no finish left on the other floor, really. And I think maybe it was semi-gloss, whereas this one ended up using the full gloss. But anyway, I think the rest of the floor needs to get redone as well.
You want more milk, sweetie? Give me the glass. Du lait? Then le verre. It is crunch time. We only have 3 nice days before it starts dropping below freezing again with snow, rain, just miserable. So we're really trying to do the most of it. Doing dishes while Coral's asleep under the boat, which we keep having to go check on her because she's in the stroller. If we bring her up, she's probably gonna wake up. Corey is somewhere in the back of the boat. I think he's still checking the seacocks because we've got 11 holes under the hull that we're trying to figure out where they all connect to, what they do, because it would be nice to know our boat inside and out.
I'm here with Coral. We're checking all of the through hulls. There's quite a few. I've just went around the boat and checked them all. Some of the seacocks or the valves are stuck in the open or closed position. So we're just going through and figuring out where they all are and testing them out, making sure that they function, and going on the outside to make sure that they actually are fully open or fully closed. This one feels like it jams, but I've got some spots here that I can add some grease, and I'm gonna get them moving nice and smooth. Right now, oh, this one's fairly stiff. So far, it seems like we have 3 large seacocks, 2 related to the waist and 1 for the drain that are jammed. The drain and one of the waist is jammed open, so it's still usable. But anyway, I gotta unjam those. So far, the rest of the smaller ones though are in good shape. They move back and forth, and they look like they're in good quality or good condition. And they are good quality seacocks. They're like the cone style. Did a bunch of research to figure out which seacocks were which yesterday. This ball valve, the only ball valve we actually have on board is Groco, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a very expensive ball valve actually, and it's pretty maintainable. All the parts I can get online from the company. There's a few Allen key bolts here to access the actual ball valve, and it's all one piece, I believe. I don't think it's not threaded on. So the flange here that screws onto the mushroom is all one part. Like all of this is one part, and then of course there's sections that an angle piece that bolts on here, but this whole valve is all one piece. The flange isn't separate. The only thing that's separate is the mushroom that screws in from underneath. All the other cone valves are Wilcox something. Anyway, Wilcox something. They're old, like 30-year-old cone valves, but they're all maintainable. The only issue is the 2 cone valves, larger cone valves that are stuck in the open position. they were installed really badly. It must have been the original install of the boat, but the nuts on the backside that I'm supposed to be able to loosen to access the cone and remove the cone from the actual assembly are right up against either a bulkhead or a wall, and basically making it impossible to disassemble them without unbolting it from the hull and basically dismantling the entire through hull. All it would have taken was shifting the through hull 190 degree turn, and that would have saved all of this struggle. But oh well, you know, sometimes things are installed not maybe the way you would want them installed. I might have to remove those two cone valves and get them working again. But this one, I think I'm gonna try to disassemble it. So I'm going to put some penetrating fluid on these 3 Allen bolts. I'm also going to try to loosen these and spray a little bit of lubricant in there if I can't get this all off. But let's see what... All right, I got a heater going just to heat it up a little bit. I can't use a torch on this style of ball valve because the ball is seated with some Teflon, I believe, or some sort of plastic. So if I heat it up too much, I'll end up burning that plastic. So this shouldn't heat it up too much, but a torch would. Penetrating's been sitting for a bit. Let's see if we can... Oh, nice. Okay, they're not seized. That's great. Oh, Alex is calling me. Alex is a little too big. I don't trust her walking up the ladder with Coral, so that's my job. Let's go give her a hand. Oh, Coral's cacawing me. Caca!
Yeah.
Caca, Coral? Kind? Caca. Truly amazing when you don't have just the right tool, how annoying it can be to get a bolt off. So this bolt over here was being blocked by this for my regular type of Allen keys that I have, because I don't have the correct size, the 7/64 in this style where it's not as tall and I would have been able to turn it. So anyway, I had to take apart my little key that is Imperial, my little set here, barely fit. So anyway, it pays to have the right tools. So even though I have 4 sets of these Allen keys, I still don't have the Allen key set I need, which is the one with the L shapes. So I think I'm gonna ditch most of these, maybe keep 1 set of Imperial, 1 set of metric, and get the Allen keys with the L, because on a boat there's a lot of tight spots that you can't reach. But I'm working on the last bolt, and then we'll see if this thing comes off. Oh, they're good. Might need to give that a good tap. My rubber mallet, where is it? Oh. Just reading a little more about these valves, and it seems the square handle hole down here is meant for a ratchet to free up a stuck through hull. So I'm gonna try using the only ratchet I have with a standard ratchet, my torque wrench from when we rebuilt the engine, but I just won't grab the end because I feel like I'm gonna break the handle if I put that much torque on it. But I'm gonna give that a try. I've tried bashing the top of this a little bit with the mallet, and all I'm managing to do is unscrew this fitting at the top. So if I need to do that, I can do that and then spray some more lubricant into the thing. But I'm pretty sure I might be able to get it unstuck here. It's been heated up. There's lots of lubricant in there. Let's see if I can do it. Aha! Yes! It moves! Just a little more force was required than what I had. Aha, that's so awesome. It means I should be able to get it moving again. Yeah! Woo! I took out those screws for nothing, but hey, that's alright. This is a pain though. I might actually have to turn this more because I can't open the handle all the way. Bad install here. Alright. Woohoo! Yeah! So I gave this a couple more taps because it was in the way, just to loosen it. I was hoping to put it up this way, but obviously that's going to be too high for the floorboards. So I might actually have to put it down here and Jeez, it's just a terrible way to have it. That needs to be there. So maybe like that, or like that, and just put a elbow. Anyway, I'm gonna have to work this out. But I realized that this is fairly easy to unscrew now. Oh, come on. There we go. And yeah, look at all that buildup. Woohoo! Working through hull. So the way the previous owner had this was mounted like this. He would grab a hose in a compartment over here and connect it here for his waste overboard when he wanted to pump out. Maybe it was because he couldn't fit the hose through here, but we're gonna try to figure that out because it doesn't make sense to have it this way. The other problem with this is with the configuration, the way it's faced like this. I understand it can't go like this because it's too high, but you open the valve as far as it'll go. I mean, it won't even go that far because there'll be a pipe here. And look, I mean, the valve is only open halfway, so no wonder it was constantly getting stuck. So we're gonna have to figure out something better than this. Remove this piece, put an elbow, and then that way, no, well, then maybe I can tighten it to like there. And that way we can close the valve and the elbow will go there. Not really easy pump out situation. And what really bothers me is this is all sensitive backbone for our instruments and stuff. And it's all tangled up when it's coiled up in there. And anyway, hopefully everything still works. But the idea is I need to run it under here. And I kind of understand why it wasn't run, because there was also a second 4/0 cable that was run here. So with those two cables, without making the hole bigger, you would never get this hose in. But I'm actually removing this 2/0 cable because all our batteries are going in a different compartment instead of down in the bilge here, or at least all of our batteries that are going to be drawing to the inverter. So all of our high draw won't need a 4/0 cable, or we're going to use it, but anyway, it's going to be over. So I can take this out and hopefully I'll be able to feed that hose in and it'll be all set up.
Back from putting Carl to bed, and this is where I come to. Open engine, batteries, everything is tore apart. Hey Corey, what you up to there?
Figuring everything out. Hopefully getting this hose in connected to this through hull so we can figure out how to make that bend. But opening the engine compartment, I realized that the leak, over 6 months, the coolant leak is pretty bad. There was a lot less fluid down there when we left the boat, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. So it's still leaking somewhere from the back from what I can tell. Well, we knew it was leaking, it's just we didn't get a chance to figure it all out.
Corey has found his new room because he's taking too much of the bed.
Mm-hmm. Well, good news, found the leak. It's just a plug on the heat exchanger back here. It's either not tight enough or just not sealed well. So hopefully if that's the only leak. And something I just realized, it looks like the alternators just, like the wires are disconnected and taped, which means the alternator is probably fried. But I gotta investigate that more. I can't explain why anybody would think this was a good idea. I mean, if you want to disconnect an alternator, I mean, maybe it just wasn't working. I think we have a spare alternator as well. But yeah, this is the main cable that should be connected. And it's not. So likely the diodes in this alternator, if they weren't gone, they're definitely gone now because the engine's been running for who knows how long with it disconnected. Two-man
job while Carl's asleep. I am pushing or pulling, depending on what Corey asks, the sewer hose, which is right in there and goes through this hole into Corey's world.
And I'm trying to clean up, make sure the sewer hose is underneath the wires, not weave between these rat nests of wires. I cannot wait to go through and pull out all these excess wires and stuff at some point. I mean, look at this. This is our wind meter. Could have just cut it to the right length. I just don't understand people sometimes. Anyway.
We all do interesting things.
So you're gonna push and I'm just gonna feed it through this hole down here.
Okay. So, let's go push. Say when.
Yeah, push. Wait, one sec, I'll pull
oh,
inside.
I have to stop.